So yeah, The Northman is going to open against two other films. A family film. Let's talk about a family film. Um,
Mhm.
Animated Dreamworks, The Bad Guys,
Yeah.
which I thought looked good going in. And lo and behold, I think it looks good coming out. Uh,
I have to admit, my going in, I think I said to one of our cohorts, "What is this film? What is now? It's animals, right? What are the animals doing in this movie?"
they're
Um,
pulling a heist.
anyway, so that was how much I knew about it. It was like it's animated animals is all that I knew. So
Yeah. Well, this is the director's first feature. He's done a lot of animation supervision. A couple of Kung Fu Pandas, Rise of the Guardian. He was and an animator on some other films. So he Pierre Perifel is his name. Uh, but yeah, so if you've seen it, it's a spy caper movie, sort of,
mhm.
or a thief caper. It's a heist film. It's Ocean's 11, but
Very
there's
much
five of
so.
them.
Yeah.
But the voice talent in this: Sam Rockwell, Mark Maron, Aquafina, Craig Robinson, Anthony Ramos, Zazie Beetz, Alex Borstein. I mean, it's a great set of voices. And then we have our cast is Mr. Wolf, Mr. Snake, Miss Tarantula, Shark, Piranha, you know,
Yeah.
Governor Foxington, uh, and you know the damn guinea pig professor, uh, and you know the big police chief lady. Uh, man, first off, is there anything Sam Rockwell can't do?
I don't know. How is he dancing? Is he a good
I
dancer?
well he kind of dances in Iron Man 2
Oh,
up on
no.
stage. He gets but has he done a musical yet?
I don't think so.
I don't think he had. I mean, that's like literally the only kind of whole, you
And
know.
you know what? And he probably can. So
You know what? You know what's
it's
on his to do list?
what's that?
The untitled Merle Haggard biopic as
Yeah.
Merle Haggard.
So he's gonna sing.
So he's gonna sing.
All right.
Okay, alrighty then. So and he did Fosse Verdon.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. That is
So
yeah. So yes.
is there
So
nothing Sam Rockwell can't do?
there is nothing he can't do.
Okay, so as long as we're clear on
We've
that,
we've just determined that Sam Rockwell can do whatever he
can
wants.
do whatever he wants, and let's not forget that Guy Fleegman has an Oscar. That is all I'm gonna say. Yeah, so he plays Wolf. He voices Wolf, and you know him and his crew get caught trying to pull off a heist that no one's ever done before, including the mythical Scarlet Paw.
Mhm.
And they get caught, but then they get a chance to rehabilitate themselves into good guys. But that's a con. So we have
Yeah.
cons inside of cons inside of plans. Um,
It's a social experiment
it is. It's like
done,
My Fair Lady for criminals.
yeah, something.
Um, but or you know the guy that I'm going to go to rehab and tell them what they want to hear and then leave. That kind of thing. So I mean,
There's a lot of stuff going on there.
there is a lot of stuff going on. But it's just acted so well. These voices are so great, and
Well,
these
and
characters. I mean,
none of them are distracting in the sense that sometimes when you have actors who you're familiar with doing voices, it's like, oh, that's so and so, or
right?
that gets in the way of the actual storytelling, and that is not the case here.
No, it really isn't. And the animation. Look, DreamWorks came out. Remember, it was DreamWorks SKG.
Yeah.
And they started in. Well, they didn't start in animation, but animation was a big part of their early work. But it was always still, Disney, Pixar, even Bluth, and then DreamWorks.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I really liked the animation style in this one.
Yeah.
I thought it was a nice mix, all the CGI backdrops for all the action, because there's a lot of motion going on here. Some conventional stuff, and then a lot of the detail work almost felt they're animals, so obviously it's not rotoscope, but those hard rotoscope lines for details or heavy anime line work. I was watching that a lot of the times, especially on Wolf, but because he got a lot of close-ups for some weird reason. But I love the animation style.
He's so attractive.
Even as a wolf, it's amazing.
Yeah, he's so attractive.
But it's I like I said, I love the animation. I thought the music was great. They were having a good time. It just sounded. I know in a lot of these, people aren't in the same room when they're recording these voices. I feel like a lot of time they might have been in this one.
Well, and if they weren't, the illusion that they were is kind of enough.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
But then that speaks to direction and the performances.
Absolutely.
So I thought it would be fun, but I think I turned around and I said, this might be the best quote unquote family film we've seen this year so far.
I think so. Probably. I'd have to sit back and look at things.
But literally that you can take the little kids to, your tweens to, your teens to, the parents can go. You can literally take your entire family to this movie, and everyone should be happy when they leave. I don't know anyone that wouldn't be, or I don't know anyone that would be upset having sat through this movie. Because it works for it seemed to work for everyone. There were kids in our audience. They were not as rapt as they were during Sonic. But
no, but again, like to your point, I was more into this than I was into Sonic, and and yet it's. Yeah, so when you say family film, I think this is a better family film than Sonic was.
Yeah,
and Sonic's not a bad movie, but this is just has that extra something.
Yeah,
that helps it appeal to a much wider audience.
Oh yeah, and again, because it's a lot of fun.
Well, and any movie that can make the bad guys into heroes. I have a certain amount of respect for, because that's not, particularly in the way that they've done it.
Right.
So.
Oh, and let's. I don't want to forget this, because I think this is a terribly important point. There's one thing that this film does that everyone needs to remember when they come out. It does confirm the fact that guinea pigs are horrible, evil little creatures. They're just demons with fur and little nubby tails.
I think that's your bias.
No, I think that's a fact. I really do. I believe that is a fact. I believe guinea pigs are horrible, evil little creatures, and this movie just confirms that. But no, it's.
But they're great.
I don't even really care most of the time for Craig Robinson, but I forget that it's him in this as Shark.
Have you seen what is it? Morris from America?
No.
It's an A24 film that he did. Check it out. Yeah. Anyway, but no, there's nothing about this film that I would over. I mean, I don't think it's a masterpiece, but there's nothing I have that I would really complain about.
No, it's just. They don't have to. A film like this doesn't have to be a masterpiece. I mean, if it is, like Pixar, that word gets thrown, like Soul. People are like, oh, it's a masterpiece. It kind of is, but films like this don't need to be masterpieces. They need to decide what they're doing and do it well.
And it does.
Yeah, absolutely. This film decided it wanted to be a fun, quote unquote, family film. And it just is. It really is. And it's nice when, they don't push too far. They didn't put in too many parents only jokes. But they didn't dumb down the comedy so that the parents got bored. I think it's accessible to everyone, and I think that's the key, is that sometimes people forget that. They're like, oh well, we got to hit this demo, and as soon as you start aiming at demos, that's when it's like, no, there's got to be something for everyone.
Well, yeah, you stop being a filmmaker and you start being a advertising executive.
The bean counter. So it's really well. I forgot. You were talking, if the voices don't, if you aren't seeing the actor, if you're seeing the character, it's like the entire movie. I don't know how many times I reminded myself that Zazie Beetz was the governor.
Yeah, sure.
I was like, damn it, that's Zazie Beetz. Except for Awkwafina, because Awkwafina is always Awkwafina, but not in a bad way. It's just in the back of your head, you're always like, yep, that's Awkwafina. But it's like, oh, it's Awkwafina. So but her voice I never lost. Like I lost Sam Rockwell early, and I was watching, I'm like, wait, no, God, that's Sam Rockwell. And I don't know why, when going in, that somehow you just forget.
See, and for me, I like I said, going in, I knew pretty much nothing, and so I don't think I would have guessed half the cast.
Yeah,
that's I like that.
But that's a great part. So I have no idea what this one cost. It's animated, so I'm sure it's a lot, because those aren't cheap. I'll bet Sam Rockwell didn't charge an Oscar winner's fee, because I'll bet he had a good time, because I think he's got kids, and I'm sure he also made it for his kids. So I'm sure it cost a fair amount of money, but I think that this movie is easily going to make that money back.
I think it should, yeah.
I can't think of a realistic number someone could tell me its budget was, where I would be like, yeah, they'll make that back. And they might make that back in 2 weeks. They might make it back in 1 week, depending on what the budget was.
Sure. I don't know how I don't know how it will play in Europe.
Right.
Which international markets are becoming increasingly important.
Right.
But no, it feels like something that should be a hit. Now,
it really. I mean, theoretically, it should win the box office this week.
Yeah. Well, yes.
I said win the box office, not be necessarily the best film. I see an $80 million number. Just
for opening?
For budget.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, I'll say 2 weeks. I think it makes that in 2 weeks.
It could.
Or 1 full week, 7 days. I could see that. It might not, but I could see that, and I think in the normal times that would be easy. That would be easy money for them. But I don't think it's going to have any trouble making that.
It will be interesting to see, a lot of family stuff. The opening weekends aren't that easy to read, because there are parents who don't take their kids opening weekend. They want to wait till second weekend when there's less people. So it will be interesting. Fantastic Beasts did not have a great week. Sonic had a really quite a good week, all things considered. So there's suddenly another family film that's slammed in there rather quickly. So it will be interesting to see if that plays against the film.
Yep.
That the film itself is really good, but and this is totally bizarre to say, is the market too crowded? For the first time
remember, movies would open and be like, they have the theater to themselves for the next 5 weeks.
They were now showing in 9 different theaters in the same megaplex. Anyway, but so we'll see. I don't know. It's good though. If you were thinking about seeing it, you should. If it wasn't on your radar, you should probably consider it.
Yep. Easy, definitely, very, very easy, and it's opening this week against the Northman, which we already talked about.
Yeah, which I love.
Which we both really enjoyed.
But my of the films opening this week, what will I send my mother to? Well, probably this.
Probably this, yeah. Probably this.
Actually, absolutely this.
Absolutely. You're not even going to send her to the next one we're going to talk about?
No.
Which we're actually going to get to the next one.
Which is no reflection on the movie itself.
No, not at all. This is all audience driven, people. It's all audience driven. So the bad guys we're both good with.
Mhm.
Zero problem recommending it. I would recommend that to anybody.
Nope. Easy.
It's easy. Yeah, that's the easier. That's going to be the easiest thing you talk about Friday on the air.
Oh, absolutely.
So but yeah, so we're going to come back and we're going to talk about another one. But the bad guy's good. It also opens Friday.